What's up guys, Nostal-Gi-Oh here, back with another deck profile, and today we're going to be talking about speed duels, and I just took first place yesterday at a speed duel local, held by one of my good friends, and shout out to him, Odd Toxin Gaming, shout out Sean, he's a good dude, he likes speed duels a lot, so go check his channel if you like speed duels as well. But I played Dragoon Turbo, and went 3-0 with it. Deck's pretty good. I didn't play my worst matchup though, Cyber Angels. I was prepared to beat it, like in the side and stuff, but yeah, I didn't play against it, so it wasn't even a worry. But pretty good deck. If you don't know what this guy does, he's really big. He's 3k 3k. Once per turn, you can destroy a monster on the field, and if it was face up, then you burn for their attack. So it's like really good. You just sit on him in defense and just pop every turn until you just like actually push for game. But a lot of the time, they just can't out this, and it's like insane. And then its other effect is when it's in the graveyard, you can special summon it by banishing a Destiny Hero monster from your grave during your standby phase. So, and you fuse together Dogma and Plasma for it. So you just have two material like instantly. So if they just like destroy it, then you just bring it back the next turn, and it's like, okay, what'd you do? So that's pretty crazy. But there's cards like DD Warrior Lady and stuff in the meta. That can give this problems, but we have our checks and measures for it, so it's all good. Anyway, we'll start into the deck profile and start off with a skill. I use Fusion Party, Christine. This card is just really good, honestly. Like it's really good. It's just poly. It's just polymerization once per game. Fuse with monsters from your hand or field once per game. That's it. Like nothing else. You don't have to discard. You don't have to pay life. You don't have to be at a certain threshold of life points. Just no holds barred, once per game poly. Really good. It makes it so you only have to draw 2 bricks instead of 2 bricks and a poly to make Dragoon, which actually makes this deck like playable. Anyway, let's get into the main deck. I played 3 Plasma and 3 Dogma. I think you should play. You should max out on these cards. I know they're bricky. Like the whole deck is honestly just incredibly bricky. But these cards are really crazy. We play triple Allure as well in the deck, so like it's pretty good. You see like all your pieces pretty quickly. And these cards are just, yeah, they're ass. Like you can't do anything with them. Like Plasma, literally, you very, very rarely can summon it. Feasibly, you can. Like in theory, you can summon it. You have your Dragoon chilling. You have a Breaker, and you set like a Sphere Karibo, and then the next turn you just Plasma. So that's always doable. But I haven't done it yet, but in theory, it can come up, but like Dogma never will. So yeah, these cards just like they suck, but you have to see them, and you have to draw both of them. You have to have 1 and 1 to make the fusion, and so yeah, it's kind of bricky, but when you get to them, it's crazy. Then we played Triple Breaker. So I'm not playing like DD Warrior Lady or anything. This is just my only normal summon. I do kind of want to play like DD Warrior Lady, but there's no cards I want to cut in my deck. So we're just like I like this build a lot. I don't want to change anything, but. Triple Breaker is nice. This guy just clears back row. I'm also playing Cosmic Cyclone to clear back row. It's just nice to clear back row before you fusion party into your Dragoon. Cards like Floodgate Trap Hole are really prevalent in the format, and it's nice to just like know your guy is landing safely, which is cool. We're also playing Book of Moon to play around that a little bit, because if they go for like Floodgate on your guy, you just book your own guy, and the next turn you're all right. It's just like 1 turn late instead of booked forever. So it's pretty good. Yeah, this guy's a really strong normal summon. It's also dark, which is good because a lot of the time when you allure, you need like exactly 2 things, or exactly 1 thing. You need the other piece of the Dragoon. Like, you have Dogma in hand, you need to allure for like the Plasma, but a lot of the time you also need to draw a dark monster. So I just wanted to make sure all my monsters were dark, just because that comes up a lot. The last monsters in the deck are 2 Sphere Karibo. I really like 3, but I'm siding the 3rd. But that's a card I really want to add back into the deck, but there's not really anything that I can cut, and I don't want to go above 20. But Sphere Karibo is nice. I do have the 3rd in the side, and it comes in almost every match. It's good against like Ancient Gears. It's good against the DD Warrior Lady. Like they attack in with DD Warrior Lady into your Dragoon, and then you just Sphere Karibo, change it to defense, and then pop the DD Warrior Lady the next turn. It's just like really good. So we have our checks and measures to the really difficult things, which is like DD Warrior Lady. So. Yeah, that's all the monsters. They're all dark. It's just really good. There's nothing there I want to change. Except like a 3rd Sphere Karibo, but there's nothing I want to cut for it. So, yeah, it's okay. 3rd in the side is all good. For the spells, we played Triple Allure. This is the best card in the deck, honestly. It just gets us right to our pieces. One of my games, I opened Triple Allure and a Sphere. That was my opening hand, and I was like, huh, well, let's see what I can do. And then, I got to the Dragoon with a Cosmic Cyclone. He had one back row. I hit it with the Cosmic Cyclone, safely dropped in Dragoon, popped his guy, and then the next turn I just attacked for game, and it was like crazy. So yeah, these cards are like really good. Then we played one Poly. So a lot of the times you like just sit around with your Dragoon, popping the card they set and stuff every turn, and then you can finally they finally actually out your guy. And if they out your Dragoon, you pretty much just lose. Like, it's really bad. After that, you're just playing like Breaker Control with some like mediocre back row and like a mediocre monster being Breaker. So having the second like Dragoon possibility is like really good to have. So like late game when you're like digging and you're just like drawing, you're not just waiting to like maybe see a breaker and try to play. You're waiting to see this and then play Dragoon, and then like yeah, it's really good. So I like the one of Poly. I just think it's good. Like it's really good. It came up. I played 8 games total in the 3 rounds, and it came up twice. The second Dragoon, which is pretty good, and it won both those games. They were not winnable without them. So I think this is good. I've seen this in like people's sideboards for when they play up against like a DD Warrior Lady deck or something that can actually out the Dragoon. But I said, bro, we're playing it in the main. Like, that card's too good. Then we played Triple Book. So this is just like my only trap card really of the deck. I just think it's good because like obviously it has its things of like being able to like they attack with DD Warrior Lady. I can book a Moon it and then pop it the next turn. Although you won't burn because it'll be like set and won't be face up. But that's okay because like this really just needs to like keep you alive for a turn, keep your Dragoon alive for a turn, and that's like what it does. But this is subject to change for sure. But this has like a couple other things that it just is good for. Jinzo and Ojama King mostly. Those are the 2 that I think like it's worth playing this card for. But I don't know. Maybe like I'm thinking I might change it to a different trap. Maybe widespread. Probably not. I don't know. I probably will just leave it how it is. But this is definitely subject to be a different trap card or like a quick play spell or something. It could be something else for sure. Then we played 2 Cosmic Cyclone. Just back row hate. That plus Breaker feels pretty efficient. And a lot of the time you can just pop whatever they hit off of Waking the Dragon. So if you hit Waking the Dragon, if they don't summon like... They can summon Arcana, which is like kind of annoying because they can just like negate the Dragoon pop. But it doesn't negate and destroy. So they just negate the effect. And then next turn attack over it. And then you just summon back again. And then they have to pitch again the next turn if they want to... negate it with the Arcana. So it's just like it's really good. I feel like this deck doesn't really fear anything other than like Cyber Angels, and we're siding accordingly. Anyway, Fusion Party into the extra deck. I just played Triple Dragoon. You could just play 2, like it doesn't really matter. I just ordered 3, so I played 3, and then 1 Dangerous. This guy might come up every now and again. It needs a Destiny Hero and a Dark Effect monster. So if you draw like 2 Dogma or 2 Plasma, you can make Dangerous. And sometimes it comes up. I haven't had to make it yet, but I imagine it comes up every now and again. And especially for the second one, if you like played your Allures kind of foolishly along the way, just banished 2 Dogmas, like extra Dogmas, and then you just don't have both pieces for Dragoon left in your deck, you might have to make Dangerous. And by that point, like there's probably a couple Destinies in the grave, so this guy will be like a 24, 26 or something, which isn't bad. But this card's 2K stat line's actually not bad in this game because Breaker is 19 with the counter, or with the token, with the counter, and Kaiku is 18, and that's a pretty solid side deck card against this deck because I can just pop the Dragoon and then banish it with the Kaiku. So like Dangerous, like I imagine it comes up. Like I said, it hasn't come up yet, but I imagine it might come up. Into the side, so I played 2 Mind Crush. The side deck's 6 cards if you're not familiar with Speed Duels. But 2 Mind Crush. This is really for Cyber Angel. Like that's really what it's for. They activate their skill, reveal a monster, and then search the spell card, the ritual spell. Then I just Mind Crush call the ritual spell, and they're like, go. But I mean, sometimes they have like Senju, and they're just like, okay, whatever. But actually, wait, Senju searches a monster, I think. So yeah, it's just like really good. I think this card's like really good for that matchup. And like I said, that's a hard matchup because the spell protects their guys from destruction. So you just like put out Dragoon, pop their guy, they don't die, and then next turn they use the Edaten to buff their guy, and then they just attack over Dragoon. So it's like kind of rough. And if they confuse every turn, or if they can ritual every turn, then like Dragoon just never has an opening, and it makes it a really rough matchup. So yeah, this was my way of dealing with it. You could also put in like Wall of D. That's a really good card against them, but they can play around that, and they can't play around Mind Crush as effectively, in my opinion. So that's why I like the Mind Crush more. Then we played 2 Lost Wind. This card's just good against a lot of matchups. It's not bad in the mirror match because you can negate a Dragoon, and then you're set one turn ahead of your opponent's Dragoons, which isn't bad. I don't think like this card's too insane in the meta currently, but I think it has like applications in a lot of random matchups to make it like worth playing it too in the sideboard. I also just like didn't really know because I'm pretty new to the format. I'm not very well versed in the format yet, so I didn't know what to put in. So Lost Wind just felt safe. Then third, Sphere Karibo. Like I said, this comes up a lot. It's good for hitting DD Warrior Lady. It's good against Ancient Gears, which is a really strong deck. And yeah, it's just all around a solid card. I board it back in over like a book and stuff all the time because it's kind of better. It can't be popped, and it keeps them face up to pop with the Dragoon. So I don't mind this card. I think it's good. I might even add this instead of, and then like side one of the books. Move one of the books to the side. But I like having like some form of back row in the main deck. Then we have the third Cosmic Cyclone. It's the last side deck card. This comes up in like a lot of random back row matchups. You don't really need too much of your life points because you're like pretty safe behind like the Sphere Karibos and books and stuff. If you can't get Dragoon going, but when you get Dragoon going, you're pretty much safe, and you're like not afraid of too many things. And even if they like Lost Wind it, they're still gonna have to pop it eventually. I mean, I guess they can attack in with like DD Warrior Lady, but then they're locked from something like Breaker and stuff, because then you could just crash into the Breaker, summon it back next turn, and then just pop. So like, yeah, I think this deck's really good. It's really fun, and it's like really powerful, but it's very bricky and like fairly inconsistent. So a lot of the time you just like don't draw one of the 2 pieces that you need for Dragoon, and it can be a rough time. But overall, I think this deck's really solid. That was kind of a long deck profile for Speed Duels, but I gave you my full insight that I know to the deck. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. And goodbye.